Hey, this is Dave with AllProWebTools. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to edit an existing invoice. Now, the first thing we want to mention is that from an accounting perspective, editing an existing invoice is not a recommended practice. I'll give you two examples. One, let's say that in 2019, you made an invoice and you charged a customer for something, and they paid sales tax and you paid income tax on that invoice. Now, a year later in 2020, you wanted to edit that invoice and change what was purchased. Well, that would change the sales tax amount that was due. That would also change your income structure for 2019. So what's really recommended from an accounting perspective is that if the customer comes back to you and wants to return an item or wants to purchase additional items, that when they come back to you in 2020, you would just create a new invoice for them. Another example would be when you go to the grocery store and you put all of your items on the belt and they ring all of those products up, and then they your receipt. And then as you're about to walk out, you notice there's some chewing gum there and you want to buy some chewing gum. Does the cashier take the receipt out of your hands and re-ring up all of those items and include the package of gum? Or do they just simply charge you a separate time for that pack of gum and give you a second receipt? That is typically how it is handled in the accounting world. So these are some things you're going to want to consider before actually changing history and editing an invoice that has already been created. However, there are times when you need to do that, so I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So here we are in our AllProWebTools account, and first thing we're going to do is we're going to find an order that has already been processed. So we're going to click on that order. What we can do is go up here to the left-hand corner and go to Options. And right here it says Copy to New Estimate. So we're going to go ahead and click on that button. And what that's going to do is create a copy of the invoice where we can see all of the items that were on the original invoice. Now, if some of the changes that we need to make to this invoice include removing an item, then we would just click over here and remove that item. And if we need to add an additional item, we can go ahead and add the additional item. And if we need to change the quantity of a previous item, like these tulips assorted up here, we would re-enter that item, change the quantity, add that as an item, and then go up here and delete the previous item. So now we have 6 tulips instead of the previous 2. And once we're done with all of this, we can go ahead and calculate the shipping and tax. And then we can either choose to process this as an estimate so that we can make further changes to it later. Or if we want to go ahead and pay the order and complete it, we can go ahead and click Create Order. We can take a payment here, or we can print out the invoice here. Now I'm going to go back to the customer's account by clicking this button here. And here I can see the previous order, 1172, and the new order that was created, 1173. Now, if I want to void this previous order, I can click here. I need to void the payments that were applied to it and move those payments to the new order. And once I've done that, I can click here to void the order. If you have not yet taken any payments, you can simply click up here to Options and Void Order, and then just use the new order in place of the old one. And there you have it. That is how you edit an existing invoice.